Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're zeroing in on an absolute classic. We are talking about what is, arguably, one of the best bodyweight exercises you can literally do anywhere, the humble push-up. But we're not just doing standard gym class push-ups today. We're going to break down the exact strict mechanics of a flawless push-up and, why mastering this single movement is an absolute game changer. Because a perfect push-up, man, it is so much more than just dropping to the floor and pushing yourself back up. It's really a compound powerhouse. Think of it like a tightly coiled spring. When you actually lock in your form, you're awakening this massive, hidden physical potential. You are forcing your entire body to stabilize and press your weight in one elegant, unified motion. It takes full body tension, crazy core stabilization, and precise joint alignment, all firing at the exact same time. It's beautiful when done right. And the physical payoff? It's incredible. Perfect form actively recruits muscles across your entire upper torso. We're talking about building a massive chest, really strengthening the anterior deltoids in your shoulders, and completely forcing those triceps to lock out the movement. We are not talking about some marginal, barely there gains, no. We're talking about highly targeted development. By keeping proper tension through that entire range of motion, you maximize the stress on those exact muscle fibers. And that is exactly what forces them to adapt and, ultimately, grow.
And this brilliantly illustrates how these three major muscle groups, the chest, the shoulders, and the triceps, they don't just operate in total isolation. They really act as three equal pillars of a much larger foundation. When they synthesize perfectly through that correct form, they generate this one unified result, a massive improvement in your overall upper body pressing strength. You know the saying, your kinetic chain is only as strong as its weakest link, right? Well, balancing that workload across all three areas is literally the key that unlocks that next level power.
But listen, there's a catch. You might be ready to drop to the floor right now, totally convinced you've got this movement completely nailed down, but the mechanics, they are completely unforgiving. The reality is, most people are doing them entirely wrong. We compromise our form just for the sake of cranking out higher reps. You know how it is. It's so easy to let your ego take the wheel, start chasing high numbers, and just let your technique slowly break down with every single rep you push out.
And the consequences of that bad form, it goes way beyond just looking a little sloppy at the gym. You are actively sabotaging your own hard-earned gains. On one hand, you end up wasting your reps and totally limiting your muscle growth because the actual target muscles aren't fully engaging. Without that full range of motion, your time under tension basically plummets. But worse, way worse, you are drastically increasing your risk of shoulder and elbow injuries. When your alignment shifts even a little bit, all that structural load shifts off the muscle bellies and grinds directly into your joints and your connective tissue. So an ugly push-up isn't just ineffective, it's quite literally a physical liability.
So, let's face the harsh truth here. If you are not seeing the chest, shoulder, and tricep growth that we just talked about, it is time for an immediate audit of your routine. You absolutely cannot out-rep bad mechanics. It doesn't matter how hard you push or how many days a week you train. Honestly, stepping back and critically evaluating how your body is actually moving in space, that is the only real way to break through that frustrating plateau.
So, the crucial point is, according to the breakdown, there are 5 major mechanical errors standing between most of us and that flawless, perfect push-up. And you are probably making at least one of them. These 5 mistakes basically come down to elbow flare, hip sag, poor hand placement, those dreaded half reps, and completely ignoring core tension. Think about it. If your elbows are flared out at 90 degrees, you're impinging your shoulders. Hip sagging, your core is asleep, and your lower back is absorbing all that unnecessary strain. Bad hand placement throws your leverage totally out the window. And half reps, they rob you of the full stretch and contraction that you actually need for real hypertrophy. Seriously, committing even just one of these errors means you're leaving massive gains right there on the table.
So, the challenge for us today is super simple. Let's fix them. Take a real, hard look at your own form. Honestly, set up your phone and record a set if you have to. If simply tweaking your mechanics could unlock your absolute true physical potential, isn't it worth dropping your ego and just lowering your rep count to get it absolutely right? It's time to stop wasting your workouts and definitely stop grinding your joints down. So are you ready to rethink everything you thought you knew about the push-up? Because it all starts with your very next perfectly executed rep.